when he was being raised as a little boy, he had everything he could possibly imagine. If he wanted to go from point A to point B, he didn't have to walk. They would carry him in a litter, bring him in a chariot, or put him on a horse and bring him to wherever he wanted to go. He would be decked out in the finest clothes, the best jewelry, the greatest gold, things like that. He's sitting at his temple, and suddenly Moses decides to show up. So basically, Moses and Aaron, they go down to meet Pharaoh. Now if you remember, Pharaoh literally owns everything. This guy was raised up with a gold spoon in his mouth. All these monuments, everything was dedicated in his name. And here comes Moses and Aaron. Moses is 80 years old. Aaron is 81. So these two senior citizens walk into the middle of this glorious, magnificent palace, smelling like sheep, badly needing tailors, and they walk up to Pharaoh and say, we're going to take the entire workforce of Egypt. And you're going to agree? Do you really think Pharaoh was going to just say, okay, go ahead, take them all? Forget about the building projects. Pharaoh did not agree. Aaron, take your staff, turn it into the serpent. He takes it, throws it on the step, it becomes a serpent. It's a good trick. How many of you have seen the Ten Commandments? Now, come on, you got to admit, that was good stuff. It wasn't accurate, but it was good stuff, especially the parting of the Red Sea. We'll never forget that one. You know, that was done, by the way, in a bathtub filled with red jello. You know, it's true. But anyways, so the serpent is crawling up the steps. Pharaoh didn't bat an eye. He calls his occult magicians over. They take their staffs, they duplicate the exact same miracle. Or at least it appears to be that they're duplicating the miracles of God. You're going to find out something very unusual was really going on here. Basically, Pharaoh tells Moses and Aaron, get out of here. Well, they go regroup. They talk to God. God says, listen, Pharaoh's going to be down by the rivers tomorrow morning. You go down there. If he doesn't listen, turn the water into blood. Well, sure enough, he goes down there. Pharaoh sees him coming. Pharaoh's going, oh, not these people again. Sort of like, you know, Christians, you know. These Christians who just keep showing up and showing up. People eventually go, oh, not them again. But anyways, you'll wear them down eventually, trust me. But anyways, Moses says, Pharaoh, you've got to let them go. Pharaoh goes, why? Well, because God said so. This caught his attention. Remember, the Egyptians were polytheistic. They believed in many gods. So Pharaoh goes, well, what God? Well, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Never heard of him. Okay, Aaron, turn the water into blood. He does it. The Nile is just being filled with blood. Pharaoh was not impressed. He calls his occult buddies over. They take their staves. They hit the water. And the water turns into blood. Should Pharaoh have been impressed? Nope. He turns around with his entourage and they just leave. About a week later, Moses comes back with Aaron. Pharaoh, you've got to listen to me. Let the children go. Moses, you don't understand. Aaron, take your staff, do your thing. It's the water. The frogs are coming out of the rivers. They're going everywhere. They're in the bathroom. They're in the living room. They're in the game room. They're in the TV room. They're in every room in the house imaginable. Pharaoh didn't bat an eye. Called his friends over. They called the frogs out of the water also. Something obviously is going on here that I think we've been missing. First of all, should Pharaoh have been impressed? Not in your wildest imagination. Pharaoh was not supposed to be impressed. You see, if you read the scriptures, it says that God had already hardened Pharaoh's heart. You don't harden someone's heart and expect to impress them. Well, was Moses the one? Moses was trying to get out of this. I don't think he was not impressed in the least. Aaron was, but not Moses. Well, then if it's not Moses, and if it's not Pharaoh, who was it God was trying to impress? How about his children? They've been stuck in an occult society for 400 years. He had to get their attention. So there was a problem here. When these miracles were being duplicated, it looked like they were duplicating the miracles of God, right? No. They don't have that type of power. God was duplicating their powers. And it was doing it for a three-part reason. The psychology was flawless. Well, it had to be his God. First of all, the serpent, the water into blood, and the frogs were done to prove that I can do anything these people can do. The next 6 plagues God did to show I can outdo anything these people think that they can come up with. And if you read the scriptures, the occult magicians were saying, this is the hand of the God. And the last one, where he took the firstborn of all the Egyptians, was to prove his sovereignty over Pharaoh, his sovereignty over the world, and that he is indeed the God over life and death. This got his children's attention. All this happened simply because nowadays we have a similar problem going on. The world is literally being taken over by occult means. You read the prophecy found in Revelation 18:23b, the world is going to be taken over, every single nation, through the occult and handed over to the Antichrist. It's right there. What we have to ask ourselves is, what are we going to do about this? Are we going to stay in our comfort zones, go through the motions, and pretend as if we're suffering for the Lord? You know, it's one thing, and I can speak to you people, you're my brothers and sisters. It's one thing to take the title. It's another thing to live it. Wouldn't you agree? You know? Now, I know a lot of people, because of health or because of age, they can't get out there and do anything like they used to. But I'll tell you right now, those people are some of the greatest prayer warriors I have ever met. These people could pray down a pillar of fire. You know? Every single one of you have the ability to walk up to these people, and these are the least 2 witness people on the face of the earth. So many people over the years have told me, well, the Jewish people are the least witness to people. Well, let me tell you, if I wanted to go witness to a Jewish person, I'd go to a synagogue. I'd go to a temple, and let me tell you, I can still bench with the best of them. Or if I wanted to go witness to a Catholic, let's go down to the nearest Catholic church. But where do you go if you want to witness to an Illuminist? Where would you go if you wanted to witness to a Satanist or to a witch? Do you know how to properly witness to them? Because I'll tell you right now, one method when you witness to the witches, it's never going to work with Satanists, and it's certainly not going to go with the Illuminists. There are 8 major occult groups in America, and every single one of them demands a different way of witnessing. It's the same thing like when you witness to the Mormons. It's not going to work the same way as if you witness to a Jehovah's Witness. You have to know their belief. You have to know their philosophy, their religion. You have to know what they're about. But if we're too afraid just to touch one of their books, how are we ever going to win these poor lost souls to Christ? Literally hundreds and thousands of these people are dying every day.